I looked at MaKenna, I said, well, are you ready? And she goes, not really, but here we go.
My name is MaKenna.
And I'm Trysten.
And this is our story. I had a few complications during labor.
I started asking all sorts of questions like, is he going to be okay? Is this normal? What is going on? What's he doing?
They ended up having to immediately put him on a CPAP machine.
He went into respiratory distress.
He was having a lot of problems breathing.
It was almost immediate panic.
I was very nervous. I actually was shaking on the table.
My heart just sank. I remember sitting in the waiting room, just anxious and like wanting to know that he's going to be okay.
We got married in May of 2022. We wanted to wait a little bit to have children, but come August of 2022, for some reason, I had that gut feeling that I kind of fell off. And when we got home, I told my husband I needed to take a pregnancy test. And when we found out, we were both in shock, but we were just so excited to start this new journey, and we are just beyond blessed. I had prenatal care at the Blanchard Valley OBGYN with Dr. Sheets. I ended up having a couple different scares, I would say, throughout my pregnancy, but every time that there was something that had come up, they immediately took action. I had ultrasounds done, I had tests ran, labs done, to make sure that my son was the healthiest that he could be.
On the morning of the scheduled induction, I had went to work for a half a day, and then I had gotten home and I looked at MaKenna, I said, well, are you ready? And she goes, not really, but here we go.
I went into the hospital on April 11th in the evening to be induced. I had a set plan of what I wanted. Of course, you have things that happen during the labor and delivery that could alter those things, and so you kind of have to listen to your nurses and your physician on what to do next.
So she had dilated to 5 centimeters, and then after a few hours she remained dilated at 5 centimeters, despite the fact that her contractions continued to be strong and regular and very appropriate. And as such, we were evaluating the fetus then, and in her case the baby was aligned, and it was just felt that the head was not proportionate with her pelvis, and it was going to be necessary to perform a cesarean to get the baby delivered.
After 30 hours of labor, Dr. Sheets and I had discussed what the next step was. We both agreed that a C-section was the best option for me and also the safest option. I was pretty emotional going into it. I think that was the first time that all my emotions hit at once. And my nurse looked at me because they were gonna have a shift change. And she looked at me and said that she was not going to leave until my son was born. So I remember getting rolled into the surgery room, and I was very nervous about the process, but I knew as I was being rolled back into the surgery room that I was in very good hands, and that I knew that Dr. Sheets and his team and everybody in that surgery room were gonna take care of me. Being
in the operation room, it was a lot of excitement and a lot of nervousness at the same time. And when Dr. Sheets had pulled Creighton out and he goes, it's a boy. And I remember just tears of joy just falling down my face.
The cesarean delivery went very, very well, but the baby developed some respiratory issues that required the utilization of CPAP. And with a home delivery, that could have potentially been a significant problem for the baby.
It was pretty stressful at the moment, but I, again, had an amazing team that backed me up, backed my husband up, and just gave the support for my husband, myself, and my son especially. Being a first-time mom, I think it's very hard to know what you're getting yourself into, and I think that having a great provider is important. I would say trust your providers. They know what's best going forward within the process of the labor and delivery, and I am extremely thankful that I trusted my providers at the Blanchard Valley Hospital, as well as just trusting the support team around me. There may be another child in the future. Right now, I think we're pretty content with our angel baby, but I think we are just going to love him and just be able to make memories with him for now.